Good day, investors. My name is Lawrence, and thank you so much for watching this channel. A channel talks about investing in stock market and financial independence. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on other new uploads. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for returning back. Today I'm going to be talking about a very hot topic currently if you're an investor on Nairobi Securities Exchange, and the topic is Kenya Airways being back on Nairobi Securities Exchange, and it is actually trading since this week. So today I'm going to be talking about what does it mean to an investor who has been investing or to new investor. Should you be buying? Should you sell if you own these shares, or you should stay away? So I'm going to be sharing my opinion about Kenya Airways being listed back on Nairobi Securities Exchange. Maybe before I discuss, I have to make a disclaimer that I'm not an investment advisor or financial advisor. So if you're going to do anything regarding investment, please do your own thorough research, because investing carries some risks. So to those ones who are not familiar with Kenya Airways is the national airlines of Kenya, and as I said, it is an airline, so it's basically an aviation related business. So recently, this week actually, the Nairobi Securities Exchange announced that Kenya Airways was listed back on Nairobi Securities Exchange. Basically, the Kenya Airways was delisted or was suspended around 2020 because of the management-related issues, and because the government of Kenya wanted to take it back, and there was some kind of negotiation, conflicting, a lot of things happened behind the doors that we didn't know. The Kenya government failed to take over, but throughout those 5 years, this Kenya Airways did restructuring, they did prudent management, and actually by this year they got back to profitability. So the reason why it was relisted back, because it went to profitability. So today I'm going to be sharing really, though it is back to profitability, is it the right time to buy? Or if you own the shares, is it the right time to sell the shares? I'm going to first read one article, then I will be reacting on that article because I found it to be extremely very important if you're going to be discussing about this topic. So have to first credit this. It's kenyaairways.com. So I'll read. It says the trading of shares in the listed national carrier Kenya Airways in brackets K2 on Nairobi Securities Exchange resumed on Monday morning after the market's regulator lifted a 5-year freeze. So these are the highlights. The lifting of the suspension, the Nairobi Securities Exchange says, is on the back of the withdrawal of a proposal to nationalize the airline as well as its improved performance. So as I said, the government of Kenya had planned to take the national airlines back, but did fail. And also the second reason why they did admit the company back to the national Nairobi Securities Exchange was because of its improved performance. So in its first quarter of 2024, K2 swung back into profit for the first time in a decade, posting a net profit of 513 million. So this is the profitability, and about 750,000 individuals collect for only 2.8 of the national carrier through the stock market. So the suspension on the trading of Kenyan Airways shares was lifted following the company's recent performance, which saw the company record profit after tax and withdrawal of the National Aviation Management Bill, NSE, said in the notice. So basically, you can read through this one, but the main important part also I want to discuss is here. The government is the largest shareholder with 48.9% stake, followed by K2 Lenders Company Limited, comprising of Equity, KCB, Cooperative Bank, Diamond Trust, NCBA, I&M, and EcoBank at 38%. Dutch airline KLM holds 78%, and employees having 2. This is also extremely very important. If you're going to be investing in any company, you need to know the shareholders. So I'm going to be discussing about the shareholding, also how it affects the management. So another aspect I want to show you is the financials. I have to credit Market Screener. It's where you got this information. I went to financials, then income statement. Balance sheet, sometimes it is not the best. For me, I'm going for the financials. And they give us the last 5 years. If you want to go to, you just have to put in Kenya Airways, then you go to Market Screener, it will give you all the details. And if you're going to invest, definitely you need to check the financials of the company before, because it shows how healthy, how profitable, how sales are going. So these are the figures, but I'm not going to go into all the figures. You can read through. Gross profit, you can see. So for me, I'm going to go to the net profit. Net profit is just the profit after the taxes and every other expense. So basically, that's what I'm going to be going for, so that you see how if you want to invest in, so that you know at least the figures. So if you check here, it is from 2019 to 2023. 2024 is not yet updated, but as you saw, it made a profit of 513 as a net profit. So for me, I'm going to go, because if you're going to invest in any company, you need to check the last 5 years performance. If it has been good, we predict that actually also the future is bright, though it doesn't work like that. But at least for me, when I'm checking the company, I need to check the previous 5 years to check how healthy the company is, because most of the time, if it has been performing well and nothing changes, definitely performance will still be good. So I can see in 2019, it posted negative 12 billion Kenyan shillings. Negative, it means it made a loss of 12 billion, almost 13 billion. In 2020, which was the COVID time, it made a loss. It actually tripled the loss to 36 billion Kenyan shillings. And if you go to 2021, the profitability or the negative loss, the loss reduced to 15 billion, which was almost 16 billion. In 2022, it still doubled again to 38 negative 38 billion. So and 2023, it made a loss of 2022 billion 0.72. So you can see in the last 5 years, the company has been making a big losses. So though it made a profit this year of 500 million, you can see it has been making losses, though I have to credit it that at least it has improved from 22 billion loss to 500. It almost made a profit of 30 billion, or it recovered 30 billion loss to 500. So it's a good journey, but for me, it does not convince me. So you've seen how in the last 5 years it has been performing. It has been doing, it has been in losses. So as a person who has been following, should you really be interested in this company that has been making losses for the last 6 years? the question goes to you. Should you be, if it was your business really, would you be happy with what it is doing? So for me personally, actually last time, like last month, I made a video on the industries that you should avoid if you're going to be investing, and one of the sector that I mentioned was transport industry, and specifically airline. For me, I don't invest in airline because in the world over, there are very, very few airline companies that are profitable. The ones I can recall is like Emirates Airlines in Africa. We have Ethiopian Airlines. Only actually Ethiopian Airlines in Africa. It was the only one that makes profit. And also I think recently Rwanda Air made a profit. So you can recall there are very many airlines in the world, but few, very few of the airlines make profits. So that means that actually airline business is not a profitable business, is not something that you just go in. It is very, very competitive, yet their margin profit margins are very minor, and it is a very, very capital intensive business. And also another thing, the reason why I don't like this business of airline business, any single slight event affects the shares greatly. For example, God forbid, like recently, actually, airlines have been making a lot of accidents. If any accident or any airline makes a mistake and the airline gets an accident, I can tell you the shares gets affected, because buying an airline is very expensive. Insurance, they have to refund the people who got issues with the airline. So there is a lot of complex things that are actually included in airlines. So for me, I like simple business where like at least such events do not affect the whole business. So for me, K2, if I was an investment advisor, if I was a financial advisor, I would advise my students, my people, not to run away from K2, because as I said, K2 has been making losses. To start thinking about K2, at least I would give it to 3 years to see whether the profitability is single-handedly or it is going to be consistent in the next 3 years. If it is been making profits, then someone can start. For me, even if it is making profits, as I said, I do not invest in airlines. So for me, it's a no. And if you have checked the profitability, it has been making losses for the last 5 years. Only this year it made profit, and I can tell you there are better options on Nairobi Securities Exchange that you can buy that have been making profits for the last 10 years. So I would rather go for those options. Like we have a lot of them: Safaricom, we have Equity Bank, we have NCBA, we have a lot of banks that have been, even other non-banking stocks that have been making profits. I would rather check those ones instead of checking for the bank, for the airline that has been struggling. So personally, I would not buy. And also, if I have friends and what, I would tell them, do not touch K2. As I said, K2 is still risky business. Another thing is, you had 48% is owned by the governments. For me, the where a government, especially in East Africa, where I know the governments, most of them are corrupt, they own a business, I do not trust those kind of businesses, because their management style is not the best, because they do not do their prudent when it comes to recruiting. So for me, it's a no. And those ones, actually, I'm surprised, because actually the stock has been going up since it got listed back. So I got to ask myself, who is buying this stock? If you follow me, if you're one of the people who is watching this video, though I'm not a financial advisor, take a thorough scrutiny when it comes to investing, especially when you're going to buy K2 K2 shares. So that is my take on K2. And if you have any questions, you have any comments, if you have any constructive feedback, if you have any anything you want to share about investing, um, about investing, about stock market, about financial independence, about money market fund, anything related to finance, I would recommend you that you go in the comments section, write anything. If you have any questions, anything about finance, I'll immediately be able to engage and respond immediately. And if you're not subscribed, please, I would request you to subscribe, share, comment, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you get notified every time I release a video. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.